consciousness you're at unless you first reach for a higher level. So the goal is also the path. The goal of devotion is also the path to get to the goal. So devotion to God is the path and the destination, if that makes sense. So it means don't wait to start practicing devotion until you feel like doing it, until you have no resistance to it. No, practice it right now. If it resonates with you at all, if any part of you says, I want to be a fourth density being, and hello, why else would you be in 4D University if you didn't? So this applies to everyone listening. But if you resonate with this idea that I want to enter my heart and be a being of the heart, a being of love, of unity consciousness, the fourth density being, that's my purpose in this life, then start practicing devotion to God now. What is devotion? We talk about this all the time. Devotion is consecrating everything you do and think and say as an act of worship to God. Devotion is a radical commitment to living in alignment with the eternal. It means I do not want of my own free will to step out of alignment with love, to step out of alignment with truth. And so I have these kind of like internal radars in my conscious awareness for anywhere I'm deviating from divine law. And when I notice my state of being constricts at all, when I notice my inner peace is diminished at all, I know I've stepped out of alignment somewhere and I look for it. I repent, I ask for forgiveness, I ask for love to bring me back into the light. Whatever I need to do to square myself back up with divine truth and divine law, that's devotion. It is devotion to the highest ideal. And so this happens moment by moment in every conversation that you're in every action you commit, in every thought you think. As devotion grows in you, the awareness of stepping out of alignment grows. The sensitivity to being out of alignment grows stronger. You start to notice sooner when you're wandering away from love in your thinking. You start to notice sooner when your ego takes over in conversation. When you maybe cut people off, talk over top of them. When you're not in a giving, receiving state, you notice it sooner. Why? Because you want to notice it. Because you're committed to living from devotion, to living from the heart. Nothing matters more to you than living from the heart. When you get to that stage where nothing matters more, when you've fully faced up to the fact that everything in the world is vanity, nothing in the world of form can fulfill you, it's all water that makes you thirsty, you thirst again and again and again, and you want that everlasting water that you can drink of and never thirst again. You want the water of life, which is love. You begin to search for that water everywhere you can find it. When love at last is all you want, love is all you will see, right? A Course in Miracles. So the intensity of devotion, building devotion, is the first way that you know you're entering the heart. There is no heart-based consciousness without devotion, because the heart is devotion to love. The second quality of being in the heart, and or how you work your way into the heart, because remember the path and the destination are one. The second quality is humility. And this is just a genuine preferring of others over yourself. Humility is when you're genuinely more interested in blessing other people than how can I bless myself? How can I find some pleasure for me today? How can I do what I want to do? How can I make myself happy in this moment? Because you find that the best way to make yourself happy is to make others happy. And so humility begins to grow in you because you realize, as I bless others, I bless myself. So I'm always looking to elevate, to serve, to bless, to heal, to help. It's my greatest joy. And so I want to keep my tiny ego out of the way as much as possible. I don't want to let my ego keep getting in the way of my service, my giving my presence and attention to others. You know, you walk with more of that inner stillness and you're looking out to others to be of help and service rather than looking in of what do I want right now? What's going to appease me and make me feel happy? When that voice starts to quiet, humility rises in direct proportion. The heart is humble. right? The heart comes to serve and to bless. The heart has no motive of its own. It has no personal agenda. Its only agenda is to help and to serve. I'll give you an interesting experience I had not too long ago of doing these communions with the angels on the Essene path. I believe was it Wednesday? Wednesday evening, I believe, is the communion with the angel of love. And I was deep in this meditation, and I had this really profound experience where the angel of love actually communicated to me in this really interesting way. And I was doing breath work during my communion and doing some long retentions, as I like to do. And I just kind of became aware out of nowhere. I'd sort of known this conceptually, but I experienced it, and it became true gnosis in this moment, which is that on the in-breath retention, and we're going to do a lot of this at the retreat, by the way, on the in-breath retention, you're kind of sending your consciousness up in frequency to the higher realms where you receive downloads, insights, visions, things like that. And then when you finally let go of that breath and you exhale to the bottom, and then you hold that out breath for a long period of time, you kind of plunge into the subconscious in yourself, and you're into you sink into the inner realms of yourself. And that's where a lot of your own baggage may come up, and you'll see distortions, unhealed things that need to be loved and healed. And so I kind of recognized that was happening, and I went to the bottom. And normally when we go into the deep subconscious, we kind of go there with a bit of trepidation. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I'm in the shadows, so let's be on guard and be ready to meet light with darkness, and like some scary stuff may come up. And so you're kind of like wandering through your subconscious with a bit of that caution. Well, I had such an incredible blast off on this round of breath that when I came back down, I knew I was in my own subconscious, and there was this totally different attitude about it, where I was like, what's down here? Let's go on the hunt. Let's find something that needs to be healed and loved. And as soon as I entered that attitude, I embodied it. I didn't know that this was the angel of love until after the experience was over, because when you're in it, you're just in it, right? But a being of light communicated with me, and it was in the form of a black woman. And it wasn't there was no visual of this energy. It was just like a voice and an energy, a presence that I felt. And it felt like a wise African-American woman. And I was kind of hunting through my subconscious for shadows. Like, come out wherever you are. I'm gonna love you, And she came, and she was like, in the snap of a finger, she communicated to me. She said, normally the ego is the predator, and we're the prey, right? The ego's prowling around like a hunting lion, seeking whom it may devour, and it's trying to grab our attention and eat it up and possess it. And she says, but when I'm here, I'm the predator, and the ego is the prey. And she said, I'm a predator of light. I don't come to kill, steal, and destroy. I come to help, heal, and to bless. And then she leaned into me in this very sassy way, and she said, but if it's up to me, everybody's gonna get it. Like, love wants everybody to get some. Like, I'm not gonna stop looking until everybody gets some of my love. That's the attitude of the heart. It's not this like, oh, I'm just here to love. Who wants some love? It's like, I'm on the affirmative, right? I'm on the offense. I'm coming to get you. You better run. You better hide, because I'm coming. Love is coming. That's what humility is like, actually, if you can believe it. Humility is like, I am so interested in being of service that I'm quiet, I'm attentive, I'm present, because if it's up to me, everybody's going to get some of this. You see that? That's a powerful attitude to carry. When you start to embody heart-based consciousness, that becomes your attitude. The third quality of the heart is a natural recognition of the perfection and unity of everything. And this shows up as a total inability to resist the flow of life. So you can pay attention to how much you're resisting life, which means any degree of stress, any degree of anxiety of, oh, tomorrow I got to do this, or oh, I wish this wouldn't happen this way. Those kinds of thoughts represent an absence of heart-based consciousness. Because when you're in the heart, you have no ability to resist the flow of life, because the heart is completely connected and in tune with reality. And so the heart knows everything is perfection. Everything is perfect intelligence demonstrating itself. And so I may not know right now what the purpose of this experience is, but I know for sure it has a purpose, and that purpose is perfect. It cannot be resisted, it cannot be avoided. And so in the heart, we have a natural inability to resist life anymore. That's a hallmark sign of being a fourth density being, is no matter what happens, if a bomb goes off, you don't run into, why is this happening? You just run into service. You just run in to be of help to those who need it. You don't waste any time resisting the flow of life. That's number 3. Number 4 is like it, and could be the same, really, but I like to break them up just for the sake of understanding. The 4th quality of heart-based consciousness is an innate compassion and understanding towards all beings, most especially people, right? The heart has a total inability to judge others for where they currently are. The heart just knows everybody's just where they are, and their actions in time and space are demonstrating where they are. So why argue with it? Why argue with someone's current level of consciousness by judging them and casting blame upon them and things like that? The heart doesn't do that. The heart understands third density is an extremely difficult level of consciousness, and everyone's fighting a difficult battle here. And so the heart just wants to be kind. Yes, even to the murderer, the pedophile, the psychopath, the tyrant, the heart is still compassionate towards them because it understands their pain and their suffering has caused them to become this. And so the only remedy is love. You want to get rid of the murderer? Love them. Forgive them. You want to get rid of the pedophile? Love them. Forgive them. You want to get rid of the evil tyrant? Love them. Forgive them. Because if you do anything else, you co-create that distortion with them. Perception is creation, right? We hammer this all the time here. How you perceive somebody is how you create them. You add your mental energy to who they are when you say, oh, that dirty little thief, and da 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 da. You're proclaiming with your I am power. You are evil, you are a thief, you steal from others. I agree with who you believe you are. So if we want to save the world, do you think that's going to be very helpful? So don't expect your average ordinary person to understand this, because they won't. The average third density person, the ego really, sees loving people as a total agreement with their every thought and action, which is totally insane, right? You don't even agree with your own mother and father and child and spouse and brothers and sisters whom you love with all your heart. Even the people closest to you, you don't agree with everything they think or say or do. And yet it doesn't matter because you love them. So it is with everybody. Love everyone unconditionally and look to help them where they need to be helped. If someone's in blindness and ignorance, you'll want to help them in that position. But it doesn't mean you have to hate them before you can try to change them, right? Only love can change anybody, paradoxically, without seeking to change them. Love loves them where they are now, meets them where they are now, and accepts them where they are now. And that's what brings the power of transformation. Because what you resist persists. Yeah, what you fight, you strengthen. So to fight who someone is in any way is not a function of the heart. Heart-based consciousness does not judge anybody where they are. It has total compassion and empathy and understanding that people are suffering deeply, and so they behave in these insane ways. They don't know the light, they don't know truth, they're estranged from love, so of course they do these things. I'll be the love and the light and the truth that they need. And then I can actually get rid of the murderer, the pedophile, the psychopath, and the tyrant. That's the only way to get rid of evil, is by loving it. Because love depolarizes negative energy. The 5th quality of the heart-based consciousness, is a strong desire to be of service to the world, finding your purpose, finding your dharma in this life, and beginning to expand upon your chosen path of service. The heart, let's say it this way, love is not really love if it's not extending itself. Love is a forward movement. Yeah, love is moving towards everything at all times. Love never shrinks away and resists anything. Love has no fear. There is no fear where love is. And so when you enter love, heart-based consciousness, you only want to be of service. It's your highest joy. You can't think of anything more exciting, more epic, more cutting edge, more fulfilling than blessing others. And so that's another hallmark sign of being in the heart, is a strong desire to be of service, and specifically through finding your soul's dharma. What is that gift I came to express here? Where does the universe want and need to plug me in to the collective? We need people at every single level, from the farmers to the medicine workers to the teachers to the engineers to the technology workers to the spiritual teachers to the musicians to the artists to the innovators to the studiers to the archaeologists to the geologists. We need heart-based consciousness everywhere if we're going to build the new earth. We need to bring higher consciousness to every modality on earth, because that's why our current planet is so corrupted, because we've only been infusing third density consciousness into all these modalities. And so we've got what we get, right? We have a corrupt planet that shows that fact. And so this planet must be healed by you and I, people of the light, fourth density beings, gradually trickling into every single sector of society, one by one, into architecture, into engineering, into computer science, into astronomy, into art, into music. And we're definitely seeing that right now. We're seeing more and more conscious music, hitting the scene and topping the charts. We're seeing more and more conscious movies and films being made. We're seeing, Hollywood starting to put out more enlightened content than ever before. We're gradually emerging into this new earth, but we've got a whole lot of work ahead of us, right? Because the service to self powers on our planet are going to fight tooth and nail to prevent the light from encompassing the planet. And their demise is inevitable. They are gradually getting kicked off the planet generation after generation. But that doesn't mean we should lay down on the job, right? And get slack about it and lazy about it. We should be very proactive in creating the new earth, in creating conscious community where new earths can be created. And so the more of us who enter the heart and become the fourth density being, the more we'll see these communities being created, new technologies, free energy technologies that are going to change the world overnight. These things will start happening before our eyes, faster than any of us expected them to, when we enter the heart and start following our dharma. Your passion will take you there. Your highest excitement will take you there. But you have to say yes to it first, and you have to become a fitting recipient of it. You have to make yourself worthy of your dharma by leaving ego consciousness and entering heart-based consciousness. Because if we know one thing about the ego, is that it is not a good steward of anything of the light. It wants to use everything for itself, right? And so we're going to keep perpetuating this competition-based world if we let our gifts be hijacked by the ego. If we want to enter the world of cooperation versus competition, unity rather than separation, let's put our dharma on hold, so to speak, for a bit and focus all our energy and attention on getting here, moving that nexus point of our consciousness from third to fourth chakra. And then our dharma will find us, our purpose will find us, and we will together walk hand in hand into the new earth, into the light that we co-create once we're in the heart. The heart does all of it, right? So these are the 4 steps of how we do that. First, we have to recognize the problem. All of you have already done that, or you wouldn't be in 4DU. We have to ask for help from the universe. All of you have done that already, or you wouldn't be here. So we are at this great nexus point, the 3rd stage of entering the heart, which is finding stability there, learning what the heart is, mastering the qualities of the heart within ourselves and embodying them to such an extent that we naturally can become a true agent of service on the planet, the fourth stage of entering the heart. And we're all at different, places on those third to fourth steps of entering heart-based consciousness. Some of you are already on stage 4. You're embodying heart-based consciousness in a huge way, and your Dharma has found you, and you're stepping into that purpose. And thank you for doing the work. On behalf of all of us, I give you great gratitude. But to those of you in the third phase who are still gaining your bearings, trying to learn how to get into the heart, stay in the heart, abide in the heart, live from devotion, live from the heart, I also thank you, because you are already emerging into that fourth stage where you can truly be of service. And anyone who even endeavors to do this, to enter the heart, has already given humanity the greatest act of service that is available, which is your love, your embodiment of the Creator in yourself. The light that you embody is your greatest gift. And again, none of you would be here right now if that wasn't already your heart's desire. So I'll wrap up this lesson by saying,